Hello and welcome back to Sierra 2 Airsoft.
I'm Raider.
And this is Fox. And I have a new shotgun. And a new 40. Which is good stuff, right?
Yeah, it is. You actually listened to me for once.
You weren't the only one that was pushing me towards the Springfield, even the guy at the gun store. Anyways, yeah, we were out last week. We didn't have access to the studio because the floors on the lower floor were being refinished, so there's no way of getting in.
Yep, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
But we're back this week, unlike our government.
Yeah.
But
we're open for business.
Yes, unlike them.
Alright, this week we check out a new mag pouch called the Ramp. It may give the Fast Mag a run for its money. A fast run. I update you guys on my gear purchases and how that's been going. Hint, hint, it's been expensive. The Russian military may soon be using airsoft and paintball for training applications. This could change how Europe looks at replicas. Fulda Gap has a new video that will give you a full rundown on field safety, if you can sit through it. One Grunts Opinion has a new article on getting ready for ops. I think we like this guy. And lastly, Raider has books to go over that every milsimer should read.
Yep.
Just one more time. One more time. It's brand new, man. Just got it. At least I'm not doing the one hinge.
I've been monkeying with this for a little while, the Iron Airsoft M320. But yeah, you got yourself some MDM gear, huh? Yes.
I guess the first thing I'd want to go over is, I'm looking right now. I'm building up my first line, and I decided I'd give MDM a shot. And of course, I got everything in SDU gray because gray happens to be my favorite color. If you've ever visited my blog, it's all shades of gray. 50 shades of gray. But anyways, yeah, this first thing I got here is the MDM belt. This is something you'd use basically to just hold up your pants. It's real thin. It's not load bearing. You wouldn't want a full size floating handgun strapped to it. That'd be a bad idea. I primarily got it because I plan on running a battle belt over top of it. So this isn't going to add any inches to your waistline, basically. It's just a simple functional belt for under 20 bucks. So that's out of the way. And we got next. I got the IAP pouch, IAP. I believe that stands for. Fuck, what does that stand for? It's like instant
action or instant action.
I think it's immediate access pouch. Which come back, good to go. I got a P mag in here. It's designed for high retention on a regular GI mag, which would be about a pound loaded. So for airsoft, it's probably a little more than you need, but it's in there. Probably even more so than the taco pouches I've held. I mean, really. And you can, if you're running on the chest, you can remove the elastic around the outside. But just a PMAG in there, I know that's not going to go anywhere. The only thing you know what? I really don't have any negatives, to be honest. I mean, if anything, the price you're looking.
Well, that and the malice clips are a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, malice clips I don't like. The only thing I do like about the malice clips, I can run long or short malice clips, and I can get it on a regular duty belt. This gun belt I'm wearing is probably not ideal, but I can actually run it through one less loop and get that pretty snug to the gun belt. So the malice clips for this platform, also actually the malice clips for this one are advantageous because you see how I have it mounted real low. Basically almost it's like the top of the magwell for real steel would be like maybe 2 inches over my belt line. I can actually run it higher, or I could run it in a stack like at three different heights. Which that's where the malice clips would actually come in handy for this setup. It's not going to run as tight or as low pro as say the BFG 10 speed, but I can actually reinsert them one-handed. So if I was refilling from like another mag pouch, like another double pouch, right back in there, or if I'm re-indexing from a tactical reload, easy in, easy out.
To the end.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about the bungee cords with the tacos and all that shit. Real low pro, much smaller than an ITW Fast Mag. So if anything's giving the Fast Mag a run for its money, I think it's this baby right here, but that just might be my personal preference.
I don't know. There's some advantages to these ramp pouches that I saw being introduced.
Right through my gear, damn it!
Yeah.
You got the big piece. The thing I got running on my
mention the
set.
ramp. Yeah.
This is this was probably the most expensive thing on here. me face the microphone again. I got their the Emblem dump pouch.
Yeah, look like a dog chasing your tail when you were.
Yeah, it is. It is like a big gray tail.
Like a freaking dog chasing his tail.
This is a sweet mag pouch, though. The opening is reinforced, so it stays open. It's covered with like a half flap, so your mags don't pop out. It's got a drain hole at the bottom, and it's got running about halfway through it. Feels like a piece of like rigid plastic running halfway down it, so it doesn't flap as much when you're running. If you like to run it on the 6 or the probably gets like right on, so maybe like the 3 o'clock, depending on your left or right-handed.
Yeah, I run 9 because I'm right here. I'm right-handed. So.
Okay, there goes my phone again. I'm gonna switch that off. Yeah, even if you're running on the 9 though, and you put your hip up against something, you're not gonna collapse the dump pouch. You always have access to it. And it only holds 8 mags. It expands so you can jam them in there all which directions. But if you run it all side by side, it's still slick. And if you're running like mag pulls or something, you could use it as like a makeshift like IAR rig or something, and for the was it LED6, and you'd have like a makeshift rig mag pouch for them, and you just keep plucking them out. It runs real. It's very adaptable. I think it was worth the premium price I paid for it. And it's a sexy SDU grade Keller or Wolf Gray, whatever marketing name they're giving it these days. Yeah. So that's my gear I'm running right now. You did bring up the ramp pouches that would. Yeah. Are they supposed to be better than my lovely IAP pouch?
Well, somebody's advertising was the greatest thing since sliced bread. But it's another hard shell. I call them magazine pouches because that's what I'm used to. They call them a magazine holster or magazine holder or whatever. I really could care less. And the way the guy was running them is instead of being upside down like that, which is what I'm used to, the mag basically sits like right there. And I'm going, okay.
Right side up, basically below the diaphragm.
Yeah, and he had 6 of them on the front of the plate carrier, 3 were the ITW fast mags, 3 of them were the ramps. There were several advantages to it. One, it's solid, so you don't get dirt and dust and water and crap in there. If you run them upside down, which you can, which
like
would be
regular,
the regular way. Although I have known some nincompoops to run mags rounds up, I don't see the point to that. I was always taught you put them rounds down.
Well, if you got an AK, but
I even run AKs rounds down, because then I can grab it, pull it out. Bink, boom, done.
Yeah. Yeah, that comes down to how you run it too.
Yeah.
And methodology, reloading methodology.
Yeah.
Like, I got my magazines and my pistol here, and my pistol mag's got a lot less tension because this is designed for, every day, like for a cop or a civilian carrying a gun out and about in the public, which you can legally do. Whereas the IAP is designed for combat, so it's got a hell of a lot more tension.
Or 3-gun competition.
Yeah, 3-gun. Like 3-gun. You're moving pretty fast.
Oh yeah.
So
my sister's dating a guy who does 3-gun.
Nice. So I guess this new ramp pouch, it's it's maximum speed, but you still got that military grade retention.
Yeah, he says there's a nubbin in it that engages the D10 on the cut on the side. Where your magazine release latches into. That's
pretty neat.
And he showed a picture of one that had been shot, and the thing had a bullet hole in it, but was not broken.
It probably
Meaning it was still capable of using it.
Yeah, and it would probably stop spalling too. Something hits the plate and blows back out, but that's anything on your chest really.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking of, it's low pro, so it's not, kind of taking up your molly space like the ITW fast mags are. Although those things are within reason. It's the ESAC ones. That's when you start getting like, okay, this is getting crazy. Those ESAC with the Kiwi inserts. Mm-hmm. I recently saw one of those on the field. They don't look big in the pictures, but when you see them in person, holy shit, are they bulky. Because you're talking the Kydex and fabric, like probably Cordura or something over it.
Cordura nylon, yeah. That's usually standard for this kind of stuff. I mean, I have some old M56 gear.
You see this mag pouch. I'm trying to pull it out.
I have
loose.
Old, 1944 belt, 1956 butt pouch, and 1956 ammo pouch, and shit like that. That's all that's all frickin' canvas. Everything nowadays is Cordura.
It's
This
good
stuff
shit.
this stuff seems like it's a very good high quality polymer. I do have some issues with it.
Yeah, probably know
And it's
what they
just
are.
some of it is, first off, cost. These things are going to be frickin' expensive.
Did they list price?
No, they didn't list price, but with it being new, it's going to be expensive. It's usually my thing. I usually wait until things come down in price before I start buying shit.
Some shit just doesn't. Some shit just doesn't come down.
And at that point, I got to ask myself the question: do I really need it?
Yeah. Well, here's another thing. He mentioned that there was a separate pouch for E-mags. He was using these with P-mags. If these are P-mag specific...
They had E-mag, they had one for the P-mag, and they also had one for the GI Stanag mags.
Nothing for Lancer L5s.
No,
See,
unless Lancer L5s would fit in a GI mag.
Yeah, no. Well, here's the thing. Anything polymer is going to be thicker than GI mag just because you need more material to maintain that durability, but you still have weight savings. Well, here's the thing. If you're a real steel shooter, you're trying a bunch of different mags. You got Troy, you got Lancers, you got P-mags. And oftentimes you run all that shit together because now some of these mags, you're paying 20, 30 a piece sometimes.
Yeah. Or you get a bunch of them, you load them all up, say it's a big 3-gun match, and you just keep reloading your magazine. Okay, I've now emptied my magazines out of these magazines out so they go in one pile, and I grab new ones and put them in. That's usually the way I run things.
Yeah, and it's usually a mix of different types of mags.
Yeah, because I know, at least nowadays, I have I have S Arms, I have Elite Force, I have MAG, so that's usually my thing. The other thing is, because it is a polymer, it's going to be hard. Okay. But it's going to, because it is a polymer, it's going to be hard. And if people are going, anything hard like that, like there are stories repeatedly from World War II and Vietnam, they didn't wear the helmets on night missions because if something dropped on it, it made a noise. It was unnatural.
Oh, yes, this is why...
So you're talking about branches, somebody moves through the woods and bends a branch back and lets go. Guy behind him's wearing the ramp pouches. Smack.
Oh, here's another thing.
Congratulations, you've just made an unnatural noise in the woods. Somebody who knows the woods is gonna know somebody's coming.
And here's another thing to consider. This is my issue with like Kydex holsters when you need to make what's the word? When you're trying to make like a concealed draw, you don't want people to know you're drawing, especially if you're out in public. You don't want people like going after you.
Even leather makes a noise.
Not like Kydex. Kydex draws.
Kydex makes a really nasty noise.
Here's a Yeah, I got a Kydex mag pouch on, but they don't have the tension the military grade stuff has. If you're doing a tactical reload, that makes a sound too.
Oh yeah, I mean even the carbon fiber, what is it? Carbon fiber in the Serpa holster?
Yes, that's some type of carbon fiber.
That even makes a noise.
Yeah, this Cordura makes a noise, but it's not as severe as.
Never forget the day that some kid bought a Serpa holster for an M9. Had never trained with it. He goes to draw his pistol. Can't figure out why he can't get the pistol out. He's sitting here grunting on it. Finally, it jerks. Finally, he manages, I guess, to accidentally hit the latch and jerks free. Yeah, that still made a noise. So between the grunting and that scrape, it's like, yeah, okay. I know there's somebody over there. I'm gonna let a few rounds loose of these 60, and. Kid called his hit, so
yeah, nothing's ever going to be.
I was there. I said, the grunting and the scrape told me somebody was over there pulling a pistol.
Yeah.
So I just started putting rounds through the brush until you called hit.
Yeah, nothing's ever going to be quiet. A lot of it does come down to knowing your gear. If you know you have Kydex stuff on your chest, be aware of that. Don't rub it up against something. No. You got to adapt to your gear.
You may do that. Somebody else may not.
Yeah,
like
then they shouldn't be spending. They shouldn't be spending $30 on a mag pouch then.
Yeah.
If they don't know how to use it.
I just stick with standard fabric ones because that's what I'm used to.
I got fabric right here. Just happens to have a plastic insert to keep it rigid.
But you
keep
the
mouth
point.
open. Yeah. I don't disagree with you at all. I think fabric.
I do a mix of CQB and wood, so it doesn't really. I don't need the high speed, and I don't need, old school Alice. So
depends. I mean,
I stick in the happy middle.
Yeah, sometimes it also depends on how your team runs too. You know, you got to keep up. But I mean, it's all just knowing your gear, knowing how to use it. Like the even color, like gray, neutral. Know how to run it. Know how to stick with shadows and not make shadows. Understand that it's low vis. Like this is something I could have like maybe concealed under like my gray hoodie. Doesn't stick out. It's not like coyote brown or OD or black. It's like, oh shit, that's tactical gear. There's all that stuff should always be considered, and especially when you're looking at the price range of these, like this gear, like this emblem shit. You know, 45 for a dome pouch, 30 for a mag pouch for stuff that's made overseas, Hong Kong. Like this is high end materials.
Yeah,
and like, but I know how to use it.
High end, yeah. It looks like it's crafted reasonably well.
Oh yeah,
I'll give you that.
The stitching is phenomenal. The construction, I have zero complaints. My only complaint is that they outsource their labor, but that was probably to keep their costs competitive. I can be empathetic to a point. So
Blackhawk's expensive, but Emdom is not as well known as Blackhawk is.
Yeah, it's also probably low sales too. Like they periodically just stop making shit. Yeah, they'll do like a small run of something. So it's like if you see something you like that Emdom makes, get it while you can. That's all I gotta say. And if you're trying to get stuff cheaper through like SDK Tactical or something, they're usually out of stock with their shit. So just something to keep in mind.
All
right. So that's my gear purchases. That's the ramp. That's our gear shit. So what's this? This was kind of an interesting story. I mean, Russia using replica gear or replica guns for training
applications. Well, if you can get past all of the how do I put it? All past the paintball bullshit that starts in the very beginning, because they mentioned that 90% of the young people are playing paintball over there nowadays and stuff like that. So they're talking about bringing it as a training tool. Now, the Russians are not stupid people. They're actually very pragmatic. At least the ones I've spoken to, the Russians, Ukrainians, I've spoken to are very pragmatic people. They're not talking about it taking the place of like going out to the field and doing live fire training and stuff like that. They're talking about using it to augment everyday training exercises for like their infantry. And I know they mentioned that Izmash, who is actually the manufacturer of the Kalashnikov series of rifles, has plans to do an airsoft Kalashnikov.
I do remember reading about that. They were looking to make like a replica. This was like almost like a year ago. I remember reading about that. So this has been in the works for a while. I'm wondering if they are getting some like legit good R&D behind it.
No,
and I wonder if they're using stamped steel receivers.
That could potentially be. I mean,
if they import that shit over here, I'd buy it.
It'd be like Real Sword. Real Sword actually use steel receivers. They build that's why a lot of Real Sword stuff uses proprietary gears and shit like that.
Actually,
because the gearbox is built to the gun, not the gun to the gearbox.
Well, actually, not to digress too much, but have you seen the way they're doing the AR-15s? They're replicating the actual like cutting process of the receiver. They're making it the same way they make AR receivers, and they might even be using T6 aluminum, like the aircraft grade aluminum, that's real impressive. ARs. And they even had the proprietary gearbox for the pistol grip, so the width was correct. It was very impressive, and it's probably fetching a nice price.
Oh yeah,
it's like holding a real AR.
Real Sword. I've gotten the opportunity to mess around with a Real Sword AK. There was a Type 56. It impressed me. If Izmash manages to do the same thing that the Norenko managed to do with Real Sword, this has some real promise. I know that the Russians, like I said, if you ever have the opportunity to talk to Russians who say that they're into strike ball, that's actually what they call it over there. They don't call it airsoft; they call it strike ball.
Sounds almost like something you'd call dodgeball or something over there.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have all seen the meme, USA, and there you see a bunch of SEAL recruits trying to lift a log, and you see the Russian woman with the old Russian lady with it on her shoulder, and then meanwhile at the Highland Games, and they're throwing logs.
Nice.
Yes, I had to go there.
Yeah. What I find most interesting about this is, the applications for the rest of Europe. They seem to not like civilians and military things mixing.
Well, they seem to like their military collectibles. Old World War II relics, old Napoleonic War relics. They like their reenactors. It's just they have this attitude, to paraphrase another meme I saw. Oh my God, that slave has a gun.
What's the pheasant doing with firearms?
Yeah, I think in some
stop to this.
I honestly think in some ways some of Europe still has that peasant noble attitude, even though we've gone into the age of democracy. I think that part of the attitude of the armed peasant doesn't exactly sit well with some of their government. Yeah,
or the nobles that run their government that aren't called nobles anymore, even though they are.
Yeah.
They still have fucking royalty.
Yeah, well, I mean, I will be honest, I am not a big fan of Europe's, for Britain's, like, for example, Britain's House of Windsor.
Yeah.
But that's a familial thing. I said, I'm Scottish Highlands, so yeah, people can put 2 and 2 together and get 4.
It's interesting. My concern is just, are they going to look at, this airsoft thing, that's military training, this isn't good, we can't.
Oh my god, you freak the fuck out.
Yeah,
somehow it wouldn't surprise me, but on the other hand, it could potentially, if eventually, hopefully, Europe manages to wake the fuck up, and see, disarming people really didn't help us one bit now, did it? No. So why not just let it be?
Yep.
I mean, I've heard in so many years of playing airsoft that in like the 70s or 80s there was one known case of an airsoft fatality, and it was somebody who went crazy, upgraded a gun to 1,200 feet per second, and used .88 gram BBs. Yes, .88, and shot a guy in the temple.
Yeah, that would probably do it.
Yeah, you're talking about that kind of kinetic energy. 1,200 rounds a minute is what a 12 gauge like that would do.
Yeah.
So it's not very easy to kill somebody with something like that. You really have to be working at it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if I'm a retailer and I know somebody's getting an M190 spring, I'm going to start looking at them a little cross-eyed. You know?
What do you think? Velocity makes you a better player, you fucking noob? Something like that.
Well, that would probably... Well, I wouldn't probably phrase it like that. I would say velocity isn't everything, and you know that.
Yeah.
But,
I like it to a point. Sometimes trigger response is more important, but...
Yeah.
We could go on and on for that for a while. We could go on and on
for that. But this does have some promising and some negative applications. Promising... You could be getting another really high quality, very expensive gun on the market. Downsides: Europe could freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
As they are prone to do with Russia, because Russia for the longest period of time has been a land superpower.
Yeah, I mean
it's Russia. They didn't get a real navy until the 1700s. But then you look at how badly their navy freaked us out during the Cold War.
Yeah, exactly.
So they came a long way in 300 years.
Yeah, they might look at it as, well, Russia knows what they're doing. This is, legit military stuff. We can't have the people having it. But that's just my thoughts, and I can leave it at that.
Speaking of Russia and the Cold War, Fulda Gap has a new video out that gives the full rundown on field safety. Problem is, you probably can't sit through it.
37, what do you say, 37 minutes?
27 minutes.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Most of us airsofters are, what do we want? A cure for ADHD. When do we want it? Squirrel!
Yeah, I mean, I can barely stay focused to some of Raider's tangents, so this would drive me insane.
And the worst part is, apparently, to even go on the field, you have to pass a quiz on the video.
No,
I think there are better ways to do this.
No.
I applaud the effort. It's a good effort and a good thought. It's just horrible execution.
Just no.
I mean,
just say no,
Ferg is a good man. Ferg's a good guy. I'll give him the benefit. However, sometimes I think he doesn't know when to... A couple of things. One, I don't think he knows sometimes... He doesn't know when... I think he doesn't know sometimes when to stop with the simulation stuff. I've seen him out there firing off pop flares.
Yeah.
At Fulda Gap. During the night, he'll sit there at the end of the field and just pop parachute flares.
God. That sounds like my... okay, I'm not going to go there. It involves alcohol and flare guns, but... But I mean, I'm a Milsim nut, but I have my limits.
Yeah, I mean, the guy like does bring up a few very good things. Like, he did bring up the safety rules. A lot of it is the rehashed paintball footage. Because he runs a paintball version and he runs an airsoft version.
Okay, I'm guessing you didn't sit through this whole thing.
No, but I sat through the lion's share of it.
Okay.
It also hasn't hurt that I went to this for 3 years running.
Did you have a standardized test in order to play?
No.
Okay, that's good.
But I mean, come on. We've all seen how standardized testing works for schools. Why do we want it in airsoft? Really? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. I was a very, I'm not a fucking idiot yet. I really, really struggled through school.
Yeah, I'm no idiot, but I just tested well.
I don't know how the hell.
I just had a penchant for saying I don't give a shit when it comes to homework.
Oh, yeah, that was me. And somehow, I don't know how, I got on honor roll like my last 2 marking periods. I don't know how the fuck I pulled that off. So we're both drinking water at the same time. It seems like a good idea. I work at call center all day, so like tea and water keeps me alive.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I see where they're coming from, and they want to enforce this shit. They're going about it the wrong fucking way.
Well, first off, give them, personally, all the refs, and they put refs at all the respawn stations, because you can lose some of the respawns. This is definitely a very logistics-heavy game.
Yeah.
You have to get people back fast. You have to get missions done, stuff like that. So this is not your everyday... But on the other hand, you can use high caps. You can use box medics on M4. So this is not a hardcore milsim game. This is what I call a regional game.
Yeah.
This isn't Black Sheep. This isn't John Lou. This is a regional game.
Here's my thing with the safety. I guess that me coming from the firearms background, and you're probably the same way. Keep it stupid simple.
Yeah.
Or keep it simple stupid.
Yeah, he gets into things like bunker tag, which may or may not more apply for...
Never
airsoft.
heard of that in airsoft.
Well,
Never fucking heard of that.
Certain bunkers he's built to like field manual specifications. So what he's done is he's marked them out by spray painting an orange diamond on them. And if you come up and you smack that diamond with your hand, it's like throwing a grenade in there. Now, come on.
This is airsoft. Tornadoes. We got fucking tornadoes. We got flashbangs. Airsoft is... we got, our milsim shit figured out. Like, he doesn't have to figure it out for us or adapt his paintball bullshit. I mean, nothing against paintball. That's a different sport.
Yeah,
don't bring that over here.
That is entirely different.
Yeah,
it is as much as I hate to say it, a game for lance corporals. Meaning you can't sea lawyer your way out of shit like you can in airsoft. He did rehash a lot of it. Now, as far as the standardized test, I really disagree. What I think should be done, if he really wants to raise the effort, is, there is obviously always that standard. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Hey, you're hit. I didn't feel anything. Okay, fair enough. I'll call myself out. I didn't feel it. I'm sorry. That's the kind of person you don't get on about. But when the same person's doing it 6, 7, 8 times and getting defensive and going, no, fuck you, that's when you put your foot down and say, no, that's wrong. They also do go on about no profanity on the field, but
fuck that.
Even Ferg says that's damn near impossible. What they want to prevent is people cussing one another out and getting into fights, because apparently it's
fucking faggot.
Yeah, that's
sort of cocksucking piece of fucking shit.
That's what they're trying to avoid.
Yeah, 13-year-old kind of cursing.
Yeah,
not grown-up swearing.
We don't want Call of Duty. We don't want COD softers out there who all of them are 13 years old and have apparently fucked our moms or whatever.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If you ever watch any of our gameplay videos, I swear a lot. I'm like, oh, fuck, let's go.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like, it'll be...
That was close. Yeah, more than once I've gone around a corner, gotten shot at, ducked back, and went, holy fuck, that was close.
Yeah, I mean, that's just adrenaline. That's adrenaline.
That's acceptable.
That's your brain.
And I'm sorry
spewing shit.
If you're a soccer mom and you're bringing your kids out to these things, yes, we do try to watch it, but as we all know, we're all adults, slips happen. Let's just accept it. Try and minimize as much as we can and go from there. That's all that Ferg wants.
Yeah, if your kid shoots me in the face point blank, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like I can't guarantee that. I won't go around and call him a cocksucker. Like I won't do that.
The British actually did determine that uttering expletives in moments of pain actually helps with pain tolerance. You just can't overdo it too much. So God, I must have a horrible pain tolerance because I've been known to swear. I've been known to have CBs ask me to watch my language.
Oh God, yeah, that's bad.
It's bad when the sailors ask you to watch your language.
I mean, I worked customer service for 8 years, so I can tone it down. But like, I want to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not swearing, I'm not having fun.
He's not castigating people for that. What he's castigating people for is the aggressive use of it.
For example,
I agree. They call your fucking hits, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
the sort of shit that he's talking about. The sort of thing, you take a shot from an unexpected direction, or you get shot, in a very sensitive spot. You utter an expletive, or you get your foot stepped on.
Yeah, I think we got that. Yeah,
that's fine. So it's a matter of if you can sit through it. Now, how I would change this: put up a big board with the frickin' rules right there on it. Shellac them in if you have to. You can get, if I'm not mistaken, you can still get clear shellac that you can actually read through. 2, put a copy at the dead zones, and 3, give the refs all a copy. So that way if somebody needs to double check something, they can go back to the dead zone. They can go ask a ref.
A little closer to the mic.
Or, if they're getting ready to come back in, they've got the 2 boards right there.
Absolutely.
And that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, about the swearing, if you got to do it, just keep your comments to your teammates. Like, if you guys yell something like, let's fucking move, yell that to your guys, not the 8-year-olds.
Yeah, try not to yell at 8-year-olds. I just tell them move now, and I usually start shooting at their feet. That usually gets their attention.
Yeah, it works too. It's aggressive, but it's not swearing.
Yes. Exactly.
And if they don't call their hits, send another 30 rounds into their face mask.
Well, it's usually it used to be the SIG first and then the M60. They don't call their hits, then they're getting the M60.
Yeah, that's what I loved about running your stoner was you get no hit callers to call it.
Yep.
Like they can only take so much pain.
I had one with the 60 that didn't call his hits. And I started at his chest, migrated up to the steel mesh mask, and then migrated back down, and then when it hit him somewhere important, that's when he called it.
Nice.
And I've had people say, well, that's poor sportsmanship. I said I gave him every opportunity.
This is airsoft. There's also milsim here. With milsim, absolutely. If you're gonna play milsim, you need to grow a pair of balls.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't justify anyone being a dick, especially commanders, but you do need to grow a pair.
Yeah.
If you're going to stick with this sport, it's a sport, like football or even soccer.
I've had the classic ear piercing where it like hits you here and you get blood. Or I had one hit me right here and roll up my nose.
Finger hits for me always bleed.
I've always bleeding.
Lots of blood.
I have never gone full retard like some teams I know where they jump over things and wind up falling 10 feet down and breaking ankles.
Okay. I look before I leave. No,
that was the strikers from Ohio.
I look before I leave. Because I've done dangerous shit on what paintballers would refer to as outlaw fields. Like climbing up, real like steep walls and shit. And like, you know what? That's never worth it.
Well, that's the other thing he mentions, Ferg mentioned in his video is like...
Climbing.
No climbing over anything over 4 feet high. No climbing on vehicles. Don't shoot at the admin vehicles. Now, to be fair, like I said, a little bit of latitude's given. If you're in a firefight and they have to drive through it, and you couldn't get off the they come around a blind corner, you didn't notice them. Okay, but don't keep lighting the truck up after it's been.
It is a truck. I mean, come on, it's a tempting target.
One of theirs is a Milsurp deuce and a half.
Nice.
So they got some nice shit out there.
Nice.
So give them the benefit of the doubt. But that's a good one to bring up.
Yeah. Anything particular about the movie besides that? I mean, I know you probably had to like skip through it with the YouTube slider.
Yeah, I did skip through it a little bit. It's just
27 minutes. You can watch an episode of South Park in that time frame. That's exactly how long they run.
Yeah, I mean the only thing,
There's a lot of things you can do with your free time besides watch this video. But if you're like noob as fuck,
if he's going to stick with the video and quiz concept, because I know at one point Ferg was apparently a school teacher.
He should know better then.
Yeah, well, that's just my opinion. But he may have gotten out of it before of all the standardized testing craziness.
Yeah, he might
not know any better. Yeah. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he is an older guy.
Scantron sheets aren't that new. But no, I don't know. We don't know when
they may not have gotten as neurotic about standardized testing when he was a teacher.
Yeah.
Or his wife. I know somebody in that.
I've only been out of the public school system for like 5 years, so we're dragging up bad memories.
Yeah, and 11.
Yeah, 5 and 11. 5 and 11.
Yeah.
They make good stuff.
But, yes, they do. That's what my multicam pants are.
Yeah, you told me.
But, I know.
Words?
Words.
They come out of mouth?
Train of thought got derailed. Somebody blew up the goddamn rails.
Was it the 511 pants did it?
I guess. I don't know. But, no, if he's gonna stick with the video concept, awesome. He needs to break it down.
Keep it simple,
keep it stupid, simple. Don't try to cover everything in one fell swoop. I mean, some of this stuff is simple shit, like, don't go within 100 feet of a goddamn spawn point, because that's spawn camping, and that's just the height, one of the heights of douchebaggery. Mm. And the fact that you would even need to do that is a good indicator if you might have the GMR disease.
Yeah, here's another thing to consider. Whenever you're learning something new, you gotta learn it one piece at a time. Like with golfing or shooting guns, you're not like when you're shooting a gun, they start you out on a rest because you don't want to worry about form and all that shit. Because you gotta worry about trigger control first. You gotta worry about manage the recoil, getting the sight in the line. Then you can move in the footwork and all that shit. It's kind of the same thing with learning a new sport. You're not gonna know everything at once. You're gonna break some rules, and that's why where the wee comes in. But to shove this all at you in 27 minutes and then give you a test, and like it's gonna be like, here's the thing we learned as students.
I mean, you can watch the video as many times as you want. The video's on YouTube. God. You have to go to another link for the quiz. Oh. I'm going, holy hell!
Cheat sheets, man.
Yeah. Well, are we gonna start seeing that? Are we gonna start seeing people getting yelled at because they slimed through? Because they quote-unquote slimed through a safety quiz.
All right, here's the thing. How did you get through school? You crammed everything in, took the test, and then forgot everything, right?
Pretty much.
That's how I'm going to view this.
I didn't forget everything, but then again, I also followed Mark Twain's philosophy of, I never let my schooling get in the way of my education.
Yeah, there's that.
My dad was very much, Dad, what's this? He'd go, there's the books, go look it up. You know, if I didn't know how to do something, that's one thing. But if I was just asking him what a word meant for the sakes of it, that was a completely different thing. If he saw me at the dictionaries and he knew I couldn't find it, he'd help me. Yeah, well, but this is a good idea, but it's also ridiculous at the same time. All
right, here's what I want to wrap it up at. Basically, he's going about it in a way that's been proven to be ineffective, as many European school teachers would like to remind us. They're going to cram it in if they're doing it legitimately, and then they're going to forget. And here's the thing. The best way to learn is by applying. The best way to learn is by doing, getting out on the field and learning.
Do it, yes.
I think, if you minimize this and, go over the basic don't be a dick rules on the quiz, I could understand that. Or, the 4 rules of firearm safety, which is never a bad idea with replicas, because these kids might pick up the real steel. They might go into the military. They need to know that anyway. Teach them that. Just memorize that. And then out on the field, give them the rundown in person. Show them. Make sure they're paying attention. And when they fuck up on the field, remind them. The way they think is suitable. I'm not going to tell them how to do that. I'm not going to tell them how to do their jobs.
I'm going to tell them that the refs had better not be laying hands on people.
That's the don't be a dick rule.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
And you got to be firm.
You got to be firm with somebody. Sometimes you have to be firm. If you got to be firm, be firm. Do it the way you think it needs to be done. Yeah. And I'll leave it at that. That's my take.
All right. So. And talking about large ops, because this one's talking about 900 people already, and is this weekend. One Grunts Opinion has a new article about getting ready for ops.
Oh, yes.
I kind of like this one.
I admit, due to my, me having a grown-up job now, that I had to get, certified. Now I'm working 9 to 5, and now I'm putting in overtime, so it's 9 to 6. And I haven't had a chance to read this.
Oh, yeah. What he brings up is he brings up there's a pyramid, 3 points that he brings up for being ready.
You broke it, man.
Yeah, I better follow it. But the first two that he brings up is you have your gear preparedness. The other thing he brings up is physical preparedness, physical fitness. And then the third one he brings up is mindset.
Can I unbutton my shirt to show that I'm physically prepared for this? Okay, I'm not going to do that. I don't have a 6-pack yet, but I'm working on it.
And
if I did have one, I would do that.
I don't think we have too many ladies watching.
Well, there's some gay men who appreciate it.
If there's any single ladies out there, feel free to email this guy.
I need help.
He probably needs some help.
I need free time. That's what I need. That's the help I need.
Well, free time comes with money. It's kind of like the old saying: money is power, power is evil. Study hard. Or no, knowledge is power, power is evil. Study hard, be evil.
Sounds good. It's like the opposite of Google.
Yep.
Actually, they didn't heed their own directions, but
that's neither here nor there. But so let's go over the first one, which is the most obvious one, which is equipment. Make sure you have the right equipment. Don't try and buy shit when you need when you're there.
Like BBs and gas. Sometimes availability is an issue.
Yeah.
Like especially bios when like all your local stores don't get it, and then you find out like shit happens.
Yeah.
And fields should stock that shit.
Well, fields should stock that shit. To be fair, most of the local fields are pretty good about getting their.
Do bio BBs expire? Because I got a couple bags.
It takes like 2 years, dude.
Okay, I'm good. See, I'm prepared already. I have a bag of 2.5s.
Yeah.
And I don't shoot a lot.
Yeah, if I needed bios, I'd have to order them, but that's neither here nor there. It's one of them cases. Get your guys together. If you're gonna go as a group, get your guys together. 6 months in advance and figure out. Okay, we need bios. We need this. We need that.
Yep.
And either one person make a gigantic order and everybody pay him, or you all make your own orders.
Yeah, and as far as readiness, this is partially why I'm not going to Ballahack this weekend. I need boots. Yeah. I need boots. Like when I went to was it Operation Blue vs. Gray?
That was the Grey Ghost Glen.
Grey Ghost Glen, yeah. Grey Ghost Glen. After that op for like 2 days, my feet were killing because I'm wearing like mid '80s issued boots that just
and they were probably
kill.
already broken, which means
no, they were like brand new when they were unused when my dad gave them to me a couple years ago, so they're broken in by now.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, you know what? I had the money that would go towards this op. I'm not prepared. I should put that money towards the gear to go to the next one. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna spend like up to like 160 on boots. That's my budget. So
yeah.
Like when you're doing a multi-day op, you really need to be prepared
and that's
physically.
one place in equipment that a lot of people will skimp on, and a lot of people get hurt.
I paid the price. I paid the price. I'll admit that. Was not worth it.
Right
free.
now I'm at the point of I'm tweaking my gear. I mean, I think I'm probably going to get a lighter set of boots because my military issued ones are just getting that old. But are just getting to that point of I'm not on my feet all day in boots anymore, so these are probably a bit heavy to be running around in all damn day. But that's one thing. Equipment. Don't try and buy shit while you're there. If you need shit, you should be planning for this. For Irene, I was planning like 5 and 6 months in advance.
Jeez, you're like beating me. I do like a couple weeks.
And I was probably bothering Jack for a while. He probably got sick of hearing my stupid questions. But then again, the only stupid question is the one you don't ask. So that's one part. That's the one everybody likes to focus on. Because it's the tangible.
Yeah.
The other one, physical fitness. Now, even Javier admits he's not. Does this mean that we should all immediately adopt United States military No.
PT.
That's not. PT requirements. No. Now, for example, if I was running my own team and had my way, before the game day started, I would have people loading mags, or I would have people stretching first.
Yeah, that's a big thing you don't see.
You guys would load up your mags, and then people would be stretching. I'd be leading them through the stretching exercises, not the warm-ups, not the calisthenics, the stretching. Because that's an obvious one.
Yeah, that's something I do every day religiously.
Think about it. You work out a lot.
Oh yeah, every 6 days a week.
What is one of the biggest problems people run into when they start working out? They don't stretch beforehand, correct? Especially when you're dealing with cardio. Yeah,
cardio. I mean, I admit I don't always stretch when I do the weightlifting stuff, but the cardio I have to.
Now, apparently Javier got injured at some point. The guy who writes One Grunts Opinion got injured at some point along the way, and he is a little, he is what people would call a little on the heavy side.
Just a little.
Yeah, just a little. Now, okay, that happens. I can admit I'm a little on the heavy side myself.
I'm trying to get a 6-pack. I'm almost there.
That was 3 years of an ex-wife who liked to feed nothing but Italian food and wouldn't let me go play airsoft.
Yeah, I eat there's
and my only PT was running after children.
Yeah.
So
burn some calories.
Burnt some, not as many as I needed to. And if I tried to burn as many as I need to, usually I was bouncing off the walls like a damn ping pong ball because the kids are playing the divide and conquer strategy. I'm going to go do something bad over here. I'm going to do something bad clean across the house. I'm going to do something bad upstairs. Oh, beautiful. So I'm literally chasing him, and as soon as I've gotten one taken care of and one starting to behave, the other one's misbehaving. Can't win. Neither here nor there.
Not to mention stress.
But I mean, he even brings up that if you're completely out of shape, this doesn't mean you go out and buy P90X and you're in that insanity workout and try and do the hardest level from the very beginning. No.
Hey, don't bash the intense stuff. That's how I dropped a lot of weight very fast.
No, I'm not bashing it, but I am saying some people will get out there and, there's fitness and then there's full retard. No. Shush and listen to what I'm telling you. There are some idiots out there, and I have run into them, that will complain that they got hurt trying to work out because they sat here and got the P90X or the insanity workout, tried to go to the hardest level without stretching or doing any kind of warm-up crap.
Okay, I see what you mean.
That's what I mean by full retard. What he even advocated is even if you do something as simple as taking, a walk around the, a good brisk walk around the, good paced walk around the block.
3.5 to 4 miles an hour, we're talking.
Yeah.
I do 4.3.
Your average conditioning hike.
Yeah.
A couple, 2-3 days a week. That helps. Every little bit helps. I know one of the things I used to do, and I remember I told you this secret when I was getting ready to play at Irene. I was issued 3 sets of boots. I had a temperate set, I had a jungle set, which was for hot weather, and then I had a set of steel toes because I worked in a motor T shop. What was the set I told you I wore around the house and doing everyday shit?
The steel toe.
Yep, because steel toes are heavy. Because I'm putting resistance. Even doing stuff like that, parking farther from Walmart, for crying out loud. So
I do that every day. I do the far spot and then I run into the building.
Yeah.
Which is almost probably 50 or 60 yards. I park way out.
Yeah, so you're doing a little bit over running the 40. The classic running the 40. And
plus it warms you up.
You can be the fittest person and most athletic and you can still be taken out by a single BB. So not even being frickin' Arnold Schwarzenegger or frickin', I don't know. Who's another epitome that people think of when they think of fitness?
I don't know. I don't really watch
I don't know. The dude, but the point is, you could be the most physically fit person on the face of the planet and still be unprepared because you didn't have your equipment or your mindset.
I do admit, though, since I picked up running, dude, airsofting is not kicking my ass like it used to. I'll tell you that much. I run every other day. I run 3 miles. And I'm asthmatic.
Irene kicked my ass, but Irene kicks everyone's ass.
Yeah, I still... And this is why...
I know I saw Marsoc Marines puking their guts out.
Yeah, I I still have yet to do like a full blown hardcore milsim up. That's why I'm pretty bummed about Balahack. But the gear, man, the boots. I need the boots. Like I'm going this Friday to pick them out. I'm like,
you're not giving up on it entirely. What you are doing is deferring for right now.
I'm not saying I'm giving up on milsim. I was just saying I'm skipping Balahack because I want to go in like good to go. Like tomorrow I'm gonna go into Montgomeryville Army Navy, one of the brick and mortar local airsoft paintball shops, and I'm gonna go through all the tactical boots. I'm like, whatever one is most comfortable, whatever one's gonna hold up the best, whatever one's gonna feel the greatest out there. And money's not an issue. Like that's the big thing. Like that's partially why I don't have my high speed gear order yet, or my Spectre gear, or my BFG order, because I am sticking with high end brands.
Yeah.
Partially because I'm gonna run the shit with real steel too.
No Blackhawk. Blackhawk's a high speed one.
I'm not crazy about Blackhawk. Sorry, it just doesn't do it for me.
I'm just saying you're forgetting one.
Well, I'm not ordering from Blackhawk.
Yeah.
I am ordering from BFG, high speed gear. I'm going to order some more Emblem shit because those IAP pouches are awesome. I need some more of those. Because I did check out the taco pouches in person. Impressive, not for me.
Yeah.
So
you didn't like the bungee cord retention.
It doesn't... I don't trust it.
Yeah.
It's a psychological thing. I'm sure it's a fantastic product. The retention didn't do it for me. Because when you start getting into real steel, those mags have weight to them. They're going to want to pop out.
Yeah. And you're trying to get something you can swing shift.
Yeah, something I could do like rifle courses with. That's another thing you need to be prepared for. This stuff is, when you get into milsim, a lot of stuff is cross training.
Yeah.
So you can take that mentality and apply it to other things, not necessarily.
Now your long range is no longer 200 feet. Now your long range might be 800 yards, for example.
Yeah, but the movement, the endurance, because it's like Javier said on the One Grunts training day, everything's on fast forward. You don't have that slow, methodic, real deal military nature to it. It's more like a first person shooter.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Call of Duty shit, but maybe more something like if you ever played Red Orchestra or Heroes of Stalingrad or
I've never played
Joint
this. This would actually be interesting games.
And they will run on your computer.
Another thing that people will bring up, or people will forget about, is you could have all your gear together, you could have everything else together. Mindset.
Yep.
What we call mindset. It's like it's like a
something.
Yeah, I was talking about anti-vehicle tactics and the fact that we don't see vehicles very often, partly because of insurance liability issues, partly because you get the unprepared people yelling, "We can't kill it with BBs!" Well, think of something.
Yeah, it's not
This is one of the things, like, for example, if you're going to play a milsim game that is not a milsim game, I strongly recommend Fulda Gap. Because, for example, they do have chemical weapons rules, which are actually the orange-colored smokes they use on boats for distress signals. And the way you counter those is, those dust masks that people wear when they're painting or they're, doing carpentry if they've got emphysema or something and can't be breathing a whole lot of dust. You see them if people got the flu or some other crap.
Yeah, we know.
You put one of those over your face and you're considered to have a gas mask.
That's pretty cool. I imagine the airsofters running gas masks as full face masks are probably good to go.
Yeah, that would also not be an issue. At points, I've actually debated about buying a paintball mask and then jury rigging a set of what looks to be the filters.
Yeah.
Making something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then make use of an actual.
The other thing is their tanks and stuff can be disabled by what they call anti-tank mines. The cheap little pie plates that you get at, the dollar store.
Yeah, that's cool.
The aluminum pie plates, you just take a can of green spray paint. So just as much of your preparation for the game can come from, for example, Walmart as it comes from, Airsoft GI, for example, or EVIC, or anywhere. So mindset is sitting and thinking.
It's also just a fact.
Wait a minute. We've got these pie plates. the tank's coming this way. Can we get a guy to shift them over? You know, some of that is that whole set of. I think the best example of this had to come from a former Marine first sergeant, where they're asking about the Marines that were serving on the Enterprise, the aircraft carrier, not the Starship.
Wait a minute, are you talking about the Starship?
No, I'm not talking about the Starship.
Is that the one that
slap the shit out of you?
Captain Picard?
No.
Okay.
We're not talking about the guy we're not talking about the guy that shows that, you know, drugs are bad. Okay.
I saw that movie.
By drinking Earl Grey tea.
They did like a scene that looked like something out of the Widowmaker.
But no,
really bad
he's talking about the Marines that were garrisoned on board the USS Enterprise during World War II. And he says, Marines don't complain about what they don't have. We don't complain about what we don't have. We go over what we do have and what we can do with it. So these are the, you know, that's part of it. What do we have? What can we do with it? Let's control what we can, get rid of what we can't.
Kind of zoning out here, but I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah, mindset.
Yeah.
We're discussing mindset and that fighting mindset.
I mean, for me personally, it's just to like just kind of
slugging match. Keep your eyes focused on the mission. That's another thing people forget. They get so wrapped up in, I'm shooting so many motherfuckers. And meanwhile, they're going, hey, while you're shooting all of us, we're getting 5 missions done. Kiss our ass.
Yeah. Actually pay attention to the missions.
Yeah, pay attention to the missions.
I called, like, these are the guys, these are the legit COD fags that just focus on killing, even though they're going, like, paying money to go to these, like, bigger games. Or they're showing up at, like, a local milsim op. Mm-hmm. Like, something like, maybe you can store on the box mags, but they're running missions. And you just want to kill things. What the fuck are you doing here? Get back to your, like, casual days.
Yeah.
That I do have a problem with. I mean, you're entitled to show up and, play.
If they're giving, the higher level a try, I'm not going to criticize them. I didn't start out trying to get to the higher levels with all the gear. You know, I think my first Fulda Gap, I was still running a couple of high caps, but it was for things like an MP5 where you really couldn't get a hold of them very easily at the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's just that kill mentality. I'm like, no, we're not doing deathmatch anymore. Come on, dudes, wake up. We gotta move now.
We gotta move. We gotta go put the flag at this point.
I mean, if you want to just like, what do they call it, spam fire or just like camp or whatever, there's a time and a place for that. You gotta know when to do it.
And some of that also comes down to commanders knowing their people. For example, if I know that there's a good movement of people that way and I've got somebody who just wants to go out and kill somebody, just go out there and get the kills. There you go, dude. That way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And meanwhile, the serious team over here that's been listening to these kids, yap about their kill death streaks, hey, I got a mission going over there. Can you guys take care of it?
Yeah, that's what I was seeing at Great Ghost Glen. That they're doing a pretty reasonable job of getting guys on missions. Wasn't seeing the favoritism, and they were, looking for guys that could do stuff.
To be honest, on the other half of that, not every job on a military operation is going to be the high-speed direct action mission.
That's for
example,
something you got to prepare for.
I'm gonna point at a game I went, one of the Operation Irenes I went to. We went and we played at Anaconda first, which was a ISO container mount town, which is actually becoming very prevalent in the military because ISO containers wear out, and they're cheap to get a hold of once they start wearing out. Once they get to a point of nobody wants to use them because they look ugly, you can buy them for cheap, reasonably cheap. So, a little bit of alteration here and there, and you've got yourself a mount down. You've already got the heavy equipment. You've already had the shit shipped in. But, now, this is the thing, like, a lot of these more established teams that I've seen, they get on this idea that they got the high-speed gear, they just need to be sent on direct act, high-speed, low-drag missions, and I'm going, not everything is high-speed, low-drag.
You gotta pull some guard duty every now and then.
And I'll give you an example. After Anaconda, we got stuck guarding a we got stuck guarding the embassy. Okay, fair enough. There are people all over the place. I opened up, and in the first minute and a half, there was nobody left within sight on the hotel. And I was told that they couldn't even get people through because of all of us. I mean, the way it came back to me was they could not get people in around that hotel because of the gunfire that was being put out of there between myself and the rest of the squad. We locked down a full, quarter to a third of the field. And as a result, the only place they could send people around to get missions was through the soccer field, which is an open field, which we all know, running across an open field is what? A death trap. So apparently they only got 300 points the freedom fighters only got 300 points that day. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. It wasn't my place, but that's how it came back to me. So even sometimes that quote-unquote boring mission of guard duty is what can make or break the game for your side. And then the first minute and a half machine gun massacre was just completely enjoyable at the first. Then it got a little boring. And then they started sending people to hunt me down. And then it got interesting again. But that's just me. And that's also, like I said, mindset. You're in a military operation. You're going to get sent to do some stuff that sucks.
It is milsim. It's not what I know some people talk about real mil, which I don't really buy into, because in the military you do get shot out. It doesn't mean you fucked up, because they like to say if you're shooting you fucked up. No, it means someone attacked you. I don't know, that's just me, but you're talking to a civilian with a defensive mentality. If someone comes swinging a crowbar at you, that's not my fault.
Well, you also have to remember the people that I knew that were running things like Real Mill had military experience, usually doing things like long-range surveillance detachments. A couple of them had participated in Robin Sage, which is training the Green Berets. And as 12 men behind enemy lines, if you get caught out there, that could be a very bad day. So they try and train those guys with the mentality of, if I have to fire my weapon, something went really, really bad.
Yeah.
So just so that way they don't get this notion of, I'm a super soldier, I can take on everybody, I'm fucking Rambo.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that play real mill in the States, I don't know, I just don't buy into it. I know people like to talk it up, but that's just me. But
it's their taste, and that's fine.
Yeah, I just don't put down what I do.
A couple times I would have liked to have been and gone for the sakes of argument,
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it could be something interesting. You could really learn something. I'm just saying, those guys that put down what we do, I'm like, shut the fuck up. I mean, that's all I gotta say. I mean, it's cool. I'm sure it's cool. I'm sure I'd like to do it, but don't belittle our sport as far as that.
Yeah, don't belittle those below you.
Oh, you think milsim's tough? I'm like, dude, go to a Black Sheep game if you shut the fuck up. That's all I gotta say. Because I know some of the guys that have talked that up.
Major Bucciarelli. I would really like to talk with him before I would consider playing a couple of his games. Just because of Major Bucciarelli is Black Sheep 6.
Okay.
He is Black Sheep 6 actual.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I would love to attend one of his games. It's just my thing is the way that I've seen the format. I have some questions about safety. And I will be honest, I want them answered.
Yeah.
But let's see, do we have time to go over, or should I write this up as an article? My reading list of stuff to improve, that can improve game play.
Well, we do need more articles on the website, and you still have to look at the article I wrote, which is up on the Google Docs.
Yeah, so, I know.
Because my ability to write.
Me and Google.
Yeah, my ability to write new articles is nil. I don't have time, and if I'm writing my own material, or I'm getting these basic write-ups done.
Oh, yeah. And that's fair enough. I mean, this one I think I did, but that is fair enough. I will be completely honest with you. Google is not normally my friend. But I will
Google isn't anybody's friend, I'll tell you that much.
But I guess I'll be writing an article entitled Raiders Reading List, which is books that everybody should at least read or look at. And I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say, this is stuff I've read. or I've seen excerpts of, and it's helped my game.
Yeah, something
I firmly recommend that you read it as well.
Yeah, something every milsimer should know. I'm probably not gonna read them, but I got a pile.
This is not going to be all field manuals. I mean, there's going to be some dry stuff. There's going to be some kind of interesting stuff.
Maybe I'll read them. I don't know. Depends on how convincing Raiders' article is. But I don't know. I got a.
I know I've mentioned a few of them a few times, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, maybe I'll have something to add to the pile because I am looking for some tactical rifle books since all I have is pistol, and more pistol. And did I mention I have more pistol books?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, okay. All right, just making sure.
I take it. How much?
I just got 25 minutes for the last one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that's. I guess hopefully when we come back next week, maybe we'll. Hang on. We're having technical. No, we're having I don't know issues. Okay, yeah, we're an hour and 5 minutes in.
All right.
So
I guess that's going to be about where we're going to cut it today.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you want to write up an article of books, I'll be more than happy to post it.
All right. Well, at any rate, until next time, I'm Raider.
This is Vox.
Shooting deuces. Y'all stay safe.
Stay safe. Keep your homes protected.